For our last story today, let's talk about Venice, the floating city of Italy, which is known for its beautiful bridges and winding canals. But this weekend, it woke up to an unusual sight. Its central waterway has turned green. Now, let's set our expectations right. The Venice canals don't have crystal clear blue waters. Everyone knows that. We're used to their dirty, dark green colors. But this time, the canal water has turned bright green. It feels like Hulk took a bath in the water, or that Shrek the ogre made the canal its secret home. You would even expect Kermit the Frog to suddenly emerge out of the water, but with an army of several other green frogs. Because this green patch doesn't seem like the work of just one wholesome frog. Don't believe us? Here's a report.
This is Venice, the city of canals, arguably one of Italy's most picturesque cities. But now it has an odd green problem. Look at these visuals. This is the city's central waterway, and now a patch of water in it has turned fluorescent green. Perplexing, right? The Venetians can relate. They have no idea where this green patch came from, but they're quite keen on finding out. Local authorities have begun an urgent investigation. They've collected water samples which will be tested for answers. But while the world awaits them, it has turned to conspiracy theories. Many speculations are floating across the internet, but one of them seems plausible. It suggests that the green water is a mark of protest, that environmental activists released dye into the water, and that this dye turned water green. This is not difficult to believe. After all, a wave of disruptive activism has swept across Europe, and environmental awareness groups have hit Italy as well. This month itself, a climate action group stepped into Rome's Trevi fountain. It's a popular tourist spot, and its water was mixed with diluted charcoal. Soon, the water of this beautiful fountain turned black. But even if we stick to the color green, this is not the first time Italy has witnessed something like this. In fact, it feels like history is being repeated. Let's go back to 1968. This is an Argentine artist named Nicolas Garcia Uriburu. He dyed the waters of the Grand Canal in Venice green. Why? To raise awareness of ecological issues. Venice has been of particular interest to environmental activists because it is one of the world's most fragile cities, constantly threatened by rising sea levels. It was hit by major floods in 2019. While those waters receded, its problems haven't. The city is literally sinking. So it has now come up with an ambitious $6 billion plan to save Venice from flooding. The city has also instituted strict rules for tourists. The authorities want their help in preserving the environment. But this hasn't calmed environmentalists. They want the government to do better. And some have resorted to chaos to gain eyeballs. It's not clear whether this incident is an act of protest or not. The investigation has only just begun. So far, it indicates that people need not be scared. Investigators say this green patch has been caused by a harmless dye called fluorescent. It's used to track the flow of water. This substance is not uncommon. But here's the catch. Usually experts use 1 spoonful of this dye to analyze water flow. But in this case, it seems like at least 1 kg of the dye was dumped in the water. Talk about getting your calculations wrong. But was it deliberate or an accident? It's difficult to believe that something like this just slipped into the canal like an oops moment. Whatever may be the reason, as long as a giant green squid monster is not releasing ink into the water, there's no need to feel blue over this fluorescent green.